Hey, how's it going, guys? My name's Diego. Welcome back to another daily value video. And on this channel, if you're new here, all I do is just go through your guys' comments and answer them the best way I can, give as much value as I can, possible. Anyway, it's early. Bear with me. But yes, I am wearing the same hoodie 3 days in a row. I don't even want to hear it. Look, it's getting colder where I'm at, so we're wearing hoodies. This isn't the same hoodie. I just have a million black hoodies that I get for like $5. So anyway, let's go through the comments. And yeah, also if you're like, oh, he's giving advice, he doesn't have any subscribers, guys, my main channel, you're watching my second channel. Okay, I just started it literally a week ago. How many days has it been? How consistent are we? 3 days, 6 days. Okay, so we're 9 days in, if I did the math correctly. Yeah, 9 days in. Well, this is the 10th day, and we have not took our foot off the gas. So, guys, I'm mainly saying this because I hope that this series or this channel also motivates you to form daily consistent habits, productive ones, right? So, for example, this channel is really helping me grow my brand, right? My personal brand, which is what I'm really focusing on to solidify me in this space. You know, I want to be the best at what I do. I want to be the best at teaching this stuff, because genuinely I feel like there is no one that can teach it better than me. I'm not saying that to be cocky. I'm not saying that to be braggy. I genuinely think I have a teaching style that really connects with people and genuinely gets the point across. So I want to spread that, you know, and I think it's working. I think it's naturally working. People really like this form of content too, where I'm just literally giving straight value, because like at the end of the day, I'm going to give everything away for free because like I have nothing to hide, you know, so I love giving value, and it also just grows my brand. So great, you know, it's a win-win. Anyway, the point is, hopefully you seeing me post every single day on long form content, along with then posting every few days on my main channel. You know, this is definitely more like prepped up content, whereas this content I just go off the cuff. But hopefully this instills in some consistency into you guys, like seeing me post every day. Hopefully that kind of holds you accountable in a way. That might not even make sense, but if you get what I'm saying, you get it. If you don't, look, whatever. But anyway, let's scroll all the way down to the bottom. I'm gonna stop yapping. Well, actually, I'm gonna keep yapping, but about stuff that you guys care about. And let's go to the bottom here. 4 days ago. Okay, so we have a ton of comments, man. Shout out to you guys for leaving such high quality comments. I love it. But let's get started. So, hi Diego, I have a few questions for you. How often should I check my data? Also, when is the best time to start tracking it? So ideally, I usually wait to start tracking data until I have data to work with. That makes sense. So what I mean is, like, when you're starting a brand new channel and you're getting 4 views a video, it's like there's not much to work with. As far as your click-through rate, like if you have a low click-through rate on 4 views, it's like you don't really know if it really was your thumbnail yet, or if YouTube just doesn't know who to push you out to. So I say like a good rule of thumb is once you're getting about 50 to 100 views a day, that's when you can start tracking your data. I recommend just having a spreadsheet. That's what I do with all my students and what I've done with all my channels. Like we just use spreadsheets, you know, just a Google sheet, and we track the data. You know, one column's for click-through rate, one column's for the beat link, beat title, average view duration, retention, whether the beat, how many times the beat has sold, right? All that stuff matters. So that's just a good rule of thumb for when you should start tracking the data. Really good question. And then, should every producer start with branding right away, or is it better to wait? I'm curious what you mean by that, but I was also thinking about using other people's thumbnail pictures. Let me know if that's a good idea. I don't recommend stealing people's thumbnail pictures. I know it's not like it was their picture, right? They just ripped it off Pinterest or Google, but I say, like, this might not even be true, but in my head I have kind of like this theory that YouTube promotes videos that had an original thumbnail. So for type B videos, for example, I think that if you have a picture that no one has used yet on YouTube on type beats, like, I think you'll have a better chance in the algorithm. That might be complete bullshit, don't take my word for it. I've just noticed that every picture that I knew was mine, like no one has used it yet, those videos did the best. So I'm not backing that up as far as like, oh, it's 100% true, like, no. But in my personal experience, that is how it's been. So I wouldn't steal people's pictures. What you can do is take their picture, and on your phone, you have to do it on the phone, otherwise it doesn't work. But on the Pinterest app, which Pinterest is free, by the way, you can plug that picture into Pinterest. I'm sure there's a tutorial on it on YouTube, but it will match that picture and show up a bunch of other pictures just like that picture. So that's a great little gem there. But yeah, super solid questions, man. I saw my comment show up in your first video, but you never answered it, so I'm gonna just comment it again. How do you sell sample type beats without running into copyright legal issues? I want to sell my sample type beats on BeatStars, but I'm afraid of legal consequences. Is there any way you can get them cleared or anything like that? So in my experience, and this could be wrong, don't take my word for it, but as far as I've seen, like on BeatStars, I've never had any problems legally, right? Because I'm pretty sure that it is the artist's job to clear the sample. It is not the seller's job, right? You just made the beat. the artist chose to buy that beat in order to put it on all platforms, right? Now, if they want to put it on all platforms, they need to clear it, right? It's their job. You're not putting it on all platforms, right? You're just selling them the beat. And if they're buying the beat, maybe you can add that into the contract that they need to know that they have to clear it. It was not pre-cleared. I recommend clarifying that. Maybe in the pinned comment where you have the purchase link or something, if it's a sample beat, say artist must clear the sample. It is not your job. So when you're looking at like the legal issues, you want to, if you want to avoid it, just spell shit out. Like that's literally it. Just spell it out. Okay. And then if they buy it, that's on them at that point. If they wanted to get it cleared, right? That's on them now. You know, it's not your job. So also with sample type beats, it's like the only problem you're going to run into on the YouTube side of things is copyright, which copyright doesn't affect your channel. The only thing that does is copyright strikes. Okay. Copyright strikes and copyright claims are two completely different things. So copyright strikes, if you get 3 strikes, you're getting terminated on YouTube. You don't get sued or anything though, but copyright claims do not matter. Okay. The only thing it does is demonetize your video. So hopefully that makes sense. I'd write that down. Like they're two completely different things. One is critical and one doesn't matter. So obviously some beats though with sampled, you might be like, oh, I'm not really able to monetize that. Then you're able to monetize it through sales, beat packs, other methods, right? And then you're also able to monetize it if you really chop up the sample in a way that it's not really recognizable. You can monetize it like that. Sometimes YouTube is not as nice though, and they won't let you get away with it. If you really chop up the beats, about like 70% can be monetized. You're gonna have that 30% though that just can't. But oh well, you know, it still grows the channel, and then people click on other beats that can be monetized, and you monetize that way, right? And then you sell. So sample beats are definitely good. I think, you know, I was really pushing people to get on sample beats earlier in 2025 because it was just how you go viral, and it still is. It's a great way to go viral. The thing is now is I'm definitely preaching more of the micro niche because I've seen that the algorithm has focused on that more, and not necessarily the algorithm, but it's just business fundamentals. Like micro niche typey channels attract people that buy, and so I think that going for sales on YouTube versus chasing the ad revenue is just a more sustainable, consistent revenue source, you know? So that's why I've been preaching the micro niche rather than chasing virality. Hopefully I answer your question, but great question, man. Yo, bro, I appreciate the last advice. About to check the new DJ Payne video. Nice. It's on the main channel. Yes, guys, check it out. Shout out to DJ Payne. I'm actually getting on a call with him soon again. But with your last advice in mind, I think I would like to monetize one channel and start a decent income first before overloading myself with 5 channels as I have college as well. I was wondering, I used to upload drill type beats, then I rebranded because that was my first time trying to grow a type beat channel, and then I switched to boom bap. Now I am wondering, should I do artist niche or genre niche with boom bap as the main idea? So honestly, man, if I was you, if you're chasing boom bap, I definitely would go for the niche itself, right? The genre. Because if you look at the, like, just for example, if I go to incognito, if we look at the top guys, right? And I'll just search, you know, boom bap type beat, you're gonna see like Dexter up there. Dexta, I think is his name. Yeah, like freestyle rap beat. Okay, freestyle rap beat is way different from a freestyle beat. A freestyle beat is traditionally like trap, but rap beat, that keyword is definitely more like the boom bap sound. And that's why he has it there. It's a really solid keyword. I think the biggest type beat video ever, if I go here, is a freestyle rap beat. Yep, 114 million views. So freestyle rap beat for you, I would be doing that. And if you look at all the bigger guys in the space, they have that. Like, okay, old school rap type beat, cool. Boom bap freestyle, like I would be taking a look at Lethal Needle because like he's kind of got that sound on lock. Like even this dude, like 90s boom bap, chill, jazz, lo-fi type beat, like that's all the genre, that's all like the niche, you know. There's not a single artist keyword in there. 8.5K in 22 hours, you know. Here's like, yeah, there's the artist keywords, but like it works both ways. But I think longevity, in terms of longevity, like look, Dexta too, like all the bigger guys in the space, they're not putting artists in the keyword, they're going for the niche. Why? Because the niche has been around for decades and it's going to continue because people love this sound. Also, this niche sells so much because it attracts an older audience. Think about it. People that listen to these type of beats grew up with the sound. Okay, not calling you guys old, but that sound is from like, you know, the 90s, early 80s, right? That's where it's from, or late 80s. If you think about it like that, okay, you're immediately attracting a higher quality audience, people that have more spending power. Yeah, but you're not old if you know you're from that era. You get the point though. Anyway, yeah, I would go for the niche itself. Great question, but Do you think Santi, I butchered that, but that whatever that is, X jazz type beats sell? Okay, maybe I'm uncultured, but I don't even know who that artist is. But we know jazz. I'm not sure necessarily. I mean, I know jazz sells in general in music, but I haven't really looked at that niche, to be honest. I don't want to give advice on something I haven't actually looked at. So in terms of like if they sell or not, that's based on like honestly you just have to do some basic market research for that. So it's like just seeing, okay, the people that are in these comments, like you can even look at the profile pictures of people that are in the comments of like whatever the biggest beat in that lane is. If you can see if they're just more mature, or ideally, like when I look at R&B beats, the reason I knew they sold a lot is because every person in the comment was a female. Guess what? Females spend more on e-commerce. That's basic, just like e-commerce statistics, right? They spend more online. It's not that they spend more money, they spend more times, right? Usually on lower ticket items, which is why for selling beats, targeting a female audience is a cheat code, right? Because they spend more, right? Whereas men, we traditionally, you might even see this in yourself, we spend more on higher ticket things, but less, right? We maybe twice a year we'll buy something that's kind of more expensive, but it's something we really, really want. And like we tend to wait. We're cool. I'm cool with $5 hoodies, right? I'm cool with, like I don't really care about all that other shit, but maybe I'll spend, $1,000 on some really nice studio monitors, right? Or I'll spend I spent $1,000 on this light above me. This camera, I spent like $5,000 on this whole thing. Like I'll spend more on stuff that I actually really want and care about. Whereas I don't care about, a $5 hoodie. Like it doesn't matter. It doesn't change my life. So that's just like the difference in the spending mentality, I think, based on men and women. And it's not like that's every single woman just spends more. No, it's not like that. It's just statistics wise, like that is the pattern, right? So if you utilize that, then you're gonna see a better just return on your investment. So yeah, it depends on the age of people who listen to your niche. Yes, yes, yes. Good reply, Flixie. I like that. My shorts are doing 100 times better than my regular videos. What are your opinions on using shorts? So I actually made a video on if you should do shorts or not. And to sum it up, it's like even if your video is doing 100 times better on shorts, you're just basically shooting yourself in the foot because you're attracting two completely different audiences. The people that are scrolling on shorts all day don't give a shit about watching a longer form video. They don't. They're brain rotted, to be honest. So also, like when they're scrolling, they won't even remember you. Even if they subscribe and they see your video and they're recommended, the chances of them clicking is nothing because they don't even remember you. So that's why, like, yeah, on paper, maybe the shorts are performing better than your long form. And partly that could be due to the fact that you're posting shorts, right? So you're killing your own algorithm for your long form, which is why I always recommend just keeping it separate. I'm just going to keep that very summed up and simple because I have made a video on this a couple days ago. So I recommend checking that out. And yeah, man. When I make a new YouTube channel, YouTube doesn't allow me to use advanced features such as adding clickable links in my descriptions, uploading a certain amount of custom thumbnails in a day, pinning comments, etc. They say they have to evaluate my channel's authenticity, but want me to give them a video selfie. Yeah, so I always do the video selfie. It's the fastest way. Is there any way to unlock these features without giving away my personal info? No, there isn't, but I recommend just taking the video selfie. Just they automatically verify you when you do that. All they ask is for you to just point your head up and down, sideways, and then you're good. But if you don't want to give away that information, then you're out of luck, man. I don't know. That I know of. There's nothing else you can really do. But I always go with the video selfie. Yo, would you create different BeatStars accounts / sites for different type beat channels, or would you send everything to one site? Me personally, I went into Plaque, so I had everything go to one BeatStars account. I had like 20 different channels running, and they all were funneling to the same BeatStars because I went into Plaque, bro. If you don't care about that, then like even then, it's like you can funnel it to the same BeatStars, have it under the same brand. It doesn't matter because it's not like each channel is its own like different business. No, it's just like a different marketing channel for the same product, which is your beats, right? So it's not like you're selling anything different. It's just a different marketing channel. It's like when someone runs an ad to a specific product, it's not like that ad is now a new business. You know what I mean? So it's like definitely if you're wanting to like go about the whole beat selling space and be pretty organized, all you need to do is like if you're worried about the beats are different styles, it doesn't matter, man. Just ideally title your beats with like what the style of the beat is in the BeatStars title, and you should be good. And then if you're worried about, oh, like, what about email lists or email marketing? Like, what if I want to be more targeted? Yeah, you just tag the artist. You just do automations and stuff, which I'm coming out with something that will go more in depth on that, because that's something I can't just go over on YouTube. It would take way too long. It's definitely something I need to prepare a bit more for, but I'll work on that. But yeah, so that is my best advice as far as that goes. Now, how do you feel about putting visualizers slash short video clips in your type beat videos instead of a still image? Recently, I've started doing that, but I have noticed a massive increase in average view duration. You haven't noticed a massive increase. Do you think it could distract people from the actual beat itself, or could it have have other pros and cons? So I've answered this before, but I think it's more just about brand, bro. I don't think it necessarily affects like your average view duration. I think it's more just brand. Like, how do you want your branding to be on your type beat channel, and overall just for your beat selling business, right? So if you want like more of a high quality aesthetic, like some more like R&B producers do, then yeah, I would be doing like some visuals for sure. On some more like my trap channels, I just had the picture, but like I don't think it plays a role in actually like an effect in average view duration, because I've had videos with 2 million views that had just a picture, and then I've had videos do 1 million views on the visuals. So it's like, I don't know. I honestly, I don't know if there's an actual effect. The only way you can figure that out is if you drop the same beat on 2 different channels, same thumbnail, but then add the visualizer on one channel and then the visualizer on another one. But even then, like it'd have to have the same audience too, like the same type of audience. So it's like, that's so hard to test. But yeah, I don't think it plays too much of a role though. Now, you're crushing it, man. I have a couple questions too. Would you rather have a static image, the thumbnail, for example, or a looping video? Okay, so I just answered this, but yeah, I mean, like, guys, it could increase average view duration, just because like it depends if your audience is more brain rot. Like if I was doing targeting a younger audience, like a more mature audience doesn't give a shit. I'll tell you that. But if I was going for like yeet type beats, oh, I'd 100% be doing visuals. So like, to answer your question, it really depends on the niche, because on a yeet type beat, it might actually increase the average view duration and your retention, because like they like that stuff, and that's kind of already a norm in that niche. So it's like that's where it comes into play. Now, any tips on consistency? I had a small upward spiral a couple years back, but I've been quite passive for a while now. I'm thinking of making a couple new channels, one for G-Funk and one for maybe Boom Bap. I work full time, do strength sports, and attention span is cooked. Uh, Fair enough. I think all of ours gets that way at some point. Love from Finland. Awesome, man. Yeah, so in your case, any tips on consistency? Man, the best thing to do is like detach yourself from the outcome. If you want to be consistent, literally just detach yourself from the outcome, because I always say this, like when you focus on the input, the output will always resolve itself. So instead of being like, oh, I'm gonna chase 50 views on this video, or I want to get to like 1,000 views a day, have the mentality of, okay, in order to get 1,000 views a day, I need a video every day. I need to be a banger video every day, and that in the right niche too. And that is what's gonna get me. That consistency on top of the strategy is what's gonna get me to 1,000 views a day. So when you detach yourself from the outcome and focus on the input, that's how you be consistent. That's like the formula. So if you're kind of in a time where you're like kind of distracted, you'd say, and kind of out of place, but you want to get focused, that's the formula I'd go for. And then in your case, yeah, I don't mind starting multiple channels. I recommend maybe just going for one first and putting all your focus onto that. And then as that one starts growing, you can start another one, right? That's my best advice for you. And if I was starting out, G-Funk's a good micro niche, but I would probably start out with Boom Bap. Now, hey Diego, I love your content. I've been consistent with 4 uploads a week for months. Nice. That's what I can handle long term when I'm back working 9 to 5. No problem. Yeah, that's very consistent. So good job. Right now I could post daily though. Is it smart to stay consistent or post more when I can while I can? Yeah, if you can post more right now, I'd recommend it. I'd probably go for that, especially if you have time, right? If you have the time right now, great. Looks like you've been in space for a while, but if you have more time, man, yeah, take that time to do it, because you'll just grow your business, right? I don't see why that would be a bad idea. And yeah, man, so of course, post more when you can, 100%. And then like always, just make sure you have that 4 uploads a week as like your base. But when you can, yeah, post daily if you can. Great question. I've been using trap type beat, huge search volume, but super competitive. Yes. I usually get 1 to 2K views a video, but none have hit 10K yet. Would you stick with it or switch to a less competitive niche? Depends on what you're going for. If you're going for trap beats that means you're probably chasing like the views rather than sales necessarily. Like traditional trap beats will always target more of a worldwide audience, leading to less sales. Just because basic economics. But if you're chasing views, then like maybe consider switching to a freestyle beat. And like how I would do that is I would just base that off of one of my channels. I'll just give you a little sauce. Only real ones know about this channel. I would base it just off of this channel. This was an experiment channel, literally only 12 videos, but damn near 4K subs. I would base it on this title format here. And I would also do thumbnails like this because you want to get in the cartoon thumbnail format. But yeah. So that is probably what I do. But it looks like you did also start with those type of thumbnails, if I'm not mistaken. You did start with that. Yeah. So I'd probably make that transition if you're open to it. Try it out, and if you stick to it long enough, you'll eventually hit in the algorithm. Especially, I recommend studying my channel here too, because I arrange the beats perfectly for the algorithm. So little sauce there, little gems. And then should I focus on one channel or start a new one? Because my old channel has 114 subscribers. Most of them are because of gaming videos. Yeah. Okay, make a new channel, 100%. You don't want to mix up those audiences. It's just not ideal. They don't care about beats. So it's like they're not going to click on the videos. And then if your audience doesn't click on them, no one else will. So YouTube won't even push it out to more people. You'll get better results with a new channel. Thank you so much for the response, Diego. Of course, I really appreciate it and all the advice you give. Absolutely, man. Thanks for coming back. Keep up the content, bro. You are really running the Typey community. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. I have started my Typey channel almost 2 months ago, but have seen stagnant results. Do you think my branding, thumbnails, titles, niche keywords is my main issue, or just that my channel is still new with only 40 uploads? My click-through rate is usually 10 to 20%, not bad. And my average watch time is around 30 seconds to a minute. So I think the beat and visualizers are good, a little lost. Yeah, so 30 seconds, like a minute is the bare minimum, to be honest. As far as like actually like getting results, a minute's the bare minimum. 30 seconds is very low. So just to give you a rough idea of where you want to be at. I think, okay, R&B X Tech, I got it. So R&B and X West Coast, and then you transition to R&B X Tech, it seems. Then you have R&B X Bryson Tiller. So honestly, man, I think it's kind of a bit all over the place. Like R&B X West Coast, those are like 2 different genres. And then you have R&B X Bryson Tiller, which is just more R&B. Like you kind of have to pick one. And then you have R&B X Tech. Like you really do kind of have to go with one. So my recommendation is like the best title format you have here that makes the most sense is R&B X Bryson Tiller. If I was going for that sound though, I'd probably do like trap soul X R&B type beat. A good person to like kind of replicate for that as far as like who's crushing it in that niche is Old Melody. Or I would do like R&B X trap soul type beat and then smooth R&B instrumental. I'd probably do that. So if you're wondering, that is the title format I'd probably go with. Also, I'd get rid of the heart and really just replicate this title format. And then like the thumbnails too, I would get rid of that big parental advisory. It's going to lower your click-through rate significantly. And yeah, and then like for thumbnails too, man, I'd probably go for thumbnails where it's like more front facing. So thumbnails like this is really good. Thumbnails like this is really good, especially Cold Melody. He has really solid thumbnails. Ideally, you want like the pinkish lights. Like that really gets a high click-through rate. If you can do that every single time, you'll just increase your chances by, really significantly. If you look at all the top beats here, they all have the lighting aesthetic, some type of like bluish, purplish, pinkish light. So that is what I'd do for you. But that is going to be it, guys, for today's video. Thanks so much for watching. Really enjoy making these videos and just the community we have going here. We're now past 550 subs, which is awesome, and almost at 1,000 watch hours too. That's crazy. We're averaging about 120 watch hours a day. Really cool stuff. And yeah, guys, thanks so much for watching once again. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Make sure to leave some comments and also register for my Sell Beats Online Challenge, which is a completely free event. This is where over the course of 3 days, I'm just going to be doing live trainings for a few hours at a time. And just going, okay, it's not going to load, but just going full in depth on everything about creating a micro niche type B channel, optimizing it, and then monetizing it. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and register down below. But other than that, guys, have a good night. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.